Appreciate everyone that came, and thank you for coming to our press release. And the first thing we have to announce is our 100th engine, 67P engine delivery from the Epps company, Pilatus distributor in the South, a company that we work a lot with and have had a very long relationship, and we'll get into that here shortly. I'd like to introduce our team from our company. First of all, I'm Chris Finnoff, and I started Finnoff Aviation and Finnoff Aviation products. But like any company, what makes a company successful is a great product and a great team. It takes both. Anyway, this is Dave Alderman, who's our general manager. And then John next to him, who almost all of you know, or a lot of you know, sales, and is an aerospace engineer, just like I am, commercial pilot. And then we have Jay Reeder, our newest member on our team, and from a family of 3 generations of aircraft and general aviation. So with that.
Thank you, Chris.
Yep.
And we'd like to say thanks for attending. We know it's a really busy time getting ready for the show and all, but again, we do appreciate it very much. So very basically, we're going to just start with a little corporate description, where we've been, what we've been up to, and then we're going to hit 3 major areas: the products, performance upgrades, and utility upgrades. I've always told to tell people 3 times and they'll remember, so that's an old church thing, but so we're going to try that today. So history first. We started working on the upgrade for the 67P and the legacy PC-12s in 2008. 2012, we got the STC was issued by the FAA, and we completed our first installation. 2020, we did another STC. We looked for ways that support the aircraft and to make it easier to use and more valuable for the owners. So we got an STC on a generator upgrade and an RCCB, which would ties the 2 number 1, number 2 bus together. And then 2021, we received a subcontract from Sierra Nevada to upgrade the C-28 fleet, which is the military version used for ISR purposes for their whole fleet. And then 2022, at that point we started working on another STC a year earlier to install the Gen 5 lithium-ion batteries in the aircraft to give it a bit better cold weather and warm start performance. We just received that STC on, it was September the 20th, which happens to be Chris's birthday. So right after that, we completed our 100th sale and installation of the PC-12, upgrading it with a 67P. So 100 engines.
Well, Epps is here, and this is the 100th engine engine that we delivered. And we're very happy to say that we've delivered many engines to our Pilatus friends, and very proud of those engine sales. Marion, do you want to stand up, because you're the reason that we're celebrating our 100th engine?
Yes, and I am standing. Thank you. We have in turn sold those engines to some of the PC-12 legacy owners, and they've been extremely pleased and happy, and we know that there'll be some very long-term value and added dividends for the life of the ownership of their airplane with that engine. So thank you, Chris, for being such a valuable partner.
Well, we appreciate it. Go ahead, just in case the conversation goes on here. I've had a relationship with the Epps family for years and years, even before Epps became the distributor for Pilatus. And I'm very happy, because this is one of the airplanes that they use to drive charter income, and also use in their family on occasion. So very proud of that, and very proud of the relationship we have with the Pilatus organization. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you, Pat, also. It's been a very valuable long-term relationship, and we hope for it to continue over the years to come.
Great. Thank you very much. And thank you for the 100th order.
You're welcome.
So I'm just gonna speak a little bit on the details in regard to the 67P engine for those of you that may not be as familiar with it. The 67P engine, as many of you know, is an upgraded variant to the original 67 Bravo that is standard on the legacy PC-12. What you get with that 67P engine upgrade through Finnoff Aviation is about a 20% increase in horsepower, taking it from continuous 1,000 horsepower to continuous 1,200 horsepower in cruise. What that translates to is about 15 knots increase in cruise, and at a flight level of 300. Another great benefit that you see with the 67P is about a 40% increase in electrical power, taking the original Gen 2 from the 67 Bravo, which is 115 amps, and upgrading it to a dual 300 amp generator. With that being said, Finnoff Aviation does have an STC upgrade to the electrical bus tie, allowing you to gather about 240 amps from the STC. Moving on, what's all included with the Finnoff Aviation upgrade 67P is the A-kit, which comes with most installation parts that are needed, as well as engineering drawings, and everything else, as well as a flight manual supplement. There are some parts that are added on by or required to be purchased through the service centers, such as ABS and Lavero and all the other Pilatus authorized service centers here in the room. With that being said, when purchased through Finnoff Aviation, you get an upgrade to the standard manufacturer standard warranty. So you get a 7-year, 2,500 hour warranty through the factory, whichever comes first. And you, on condition, are allotted 400 hours or 2 years of ESP included. Moving on with that, the Finnoff Aviation STC for the 67P is the only one that is certified to be used with the rest of the Finnoff Aviation product line, so the dual batteries, as well as MT propellers. And that's about the general gist of the, I guess I should have moved along this there. So that's moving along in the slides as we were discussing. So, and with that, go to the empty propellers.
Sure.
Alright, hi, I'm Jay Reeder, Finnoff here. Been asked to speak on, just give you a little background on our propellers options. So first of all, our STCs are with MT propeller, and MT designs their props, manufactures, all the design, engineering, manufacturing is out of Germany, so really quality stuff. And these, both the 5-blade and we have a 7-blade option. They're both certified for the legacy BC-12s, the NGs, and then Finnoff P engine modified legacies as well. Both options will work on any of those configurations. Show you, flip through, you can see some more pictures, and you can see on this slide here, it's approved in, they have EASA approval, FAA, Transport Canada, and then DGCA Mexico certification. Go to the next slide. So here's a picture of our 5-blade. And then 7-blade. But I want to get ahead to the next slide. There's a table here. So you'll see performance. If you compare the MT 5-blade and the MT 7-blade to a Hartzell 4-blade propeller, with the 5-blade you have a reduction in noise by 6 decibels in the interior, 4 decibels on the exterior. Same with the 7-blade. Both propellers, you can on-wing field repair or swap out individual blades, which is, a lot of people might know that's pretty handy to have as an option, where you don't have to disassemble or remove the whole prop assembly and ship it in to a service center to get field work or get maintenance done. The takeoff distance on the 5-blade, there's a 15% decrease in distance, and a 30 on the 5-blade. The 7-blade, 35% decrease in distance. Flight manual saying, and then 20% on the, they were a little conservative there, so flight manual's written for 20% for the 7-blade. And then you'll see there's a pickup and improvement of climb rate with both propellers, 150 for the 5, 200 feet per minute. And then the cruise speed compared again to a 4-blade Hartzell. If you compare the 5-blade propeller, it's about the same. Some people claim they get a little, some people say it's just even, apples to apples. But we do notice a little bit of a performance on the 7-blade. So, and I think that concludes my notes on the propellers. And John, do you want to speak to the auto throttle?
Sure. Try not to forget the slides this time. So we're an authorized dealer seller for the ISNS auto throttle. The auto throttle is a great option, especially when coupled with a number of our products. It improves a number of things. Pilot safety, pilot workload is a major factor with the auto throttle. When it pertains to the engine, there's a couple of really great benefits to the auto throttle. It's got over temp protection, over speed protection, as well as hot start protection. So while it's not a complete FADEX system, it will alert you if a hot start is imminent and allow you to cut sequence and save the longevity of your engine. So we are big proponents of the auto throttle as well. That?
So that wraps up our performance STCs, the engine, the propellers, and the auto drive. So now we're going to step into our utility section. And basically these were STCs that we had talked about, other capabilities that make the aircraft easier to use, more reliable, and so forth. So the first thing we'd like to talk about is the fast solution. And this is from Pratt & Whitney. We know that there's the way you operate an engine, the temperatures that you operate at, the way it's handled, can determine a lot on the upcoming maintenance events. So given the PC-12 is a single engine, is rated for single pilot operation, it's pretty hard for a pilot to record data and fly the airplane and so forth. So we decided that we wanted to pursue, because of Pratt & Whitney and our relationship, to install this box as an option for our engines that goes in with our engines. We just now are getting this program kicked off. We're very excited about it, and we think that it will really help in the future as far as operating the airplane and also understanding what kind of maintenance events you're going to have coming up. So basically the FAST solution, it stands for Flight Data Acquisition, Storage, and Transmission, the acronym for that. And basically it takes certain flight data and aircraft data and collects it during the flight. And then after you land and taxi into the hangar, it'll automatically upload this information to Pratt & Whitney as well as CAMP. And from there, if there's exceedances or if there's anything else that they notice, they send an email right back out or call and get in contact with the operator. So it helps them to understand and better fly their aircraft. Like I say, we're really excited about this one. And so here's the slide on the value proposition: maximize availability and lower the operating costs, reduce the workload of the pilot, and get real good information, enhance your performance and operational efficiencies, and then also optimize your maintenance plan. So currently the data goes to Pratt & Whitney and, as we mentioned, CAMP. The customers are also for the aircraft that we upgrade the engine with. This can be it's available for every at this point legacy PC-12 as well as the NGs. Right now we will provide this for any legacy provider, or if there's an NG operator that has a requirement, we'll also do that. Okay, moving on into our lead acid battery. Currently, our STC includes installing of a second battery if the aircraft isn't already equipped with one, and that's an option. We know that a lot of the new technology batteries, the lead acids are coming out that are common gas, and so we are currently working on an STC to upgrade to install the recombinant gas batteries. And this is the one that I said we just got in September the 20th of this year. It's a Gen 5 TB40 lithium-ion battery. Previously we had a TB44. That doesn't meet current TSOs, so we wanted to upgrade and stay in line with what's available and make sure and offer the latest technology. So working with TrueBlue, we now offer an STC for each and every model of the PC-12. It can go in the legacy platforms, it can go in the NGs, as well as the NGXs. So that's, like I said, we thought that was a really good option for all models, and that's what our STC is allowed for. It's the significant thing is the weight. Besides the starting power, the weight. Each of these batteries are only about 35, 36 pounds. So the current lead acid batteries are in the 90s. So it's quite a savings in weight and also performance. So in closing, as far as the presentation, just a round circle of what we've done. We've talked about the PT6A 67P installation. We've talked about our engine instrument system devices, all three of them. The battery options that we have, now the fast solution, which we just kicked off. And power distribution upgrade, we've talked about that. Accessory gearbox, John touched on that a little bit with the upgrade of the removal of the 115 generator and installation of the 300 amp generator. And then Jay with the, so with this, that wraps up our, I almost did the same thing. We're gonna have a Q&A session, and please fire away.